Let's move along now. I want to introduce you to Tim Whiteman, who is the CEO of IPAF.org. And for those of you who are not certain exactly what IPAF is, they're the people that try to keep all of us safe. Tim, talk a little bit more and give us some idea, at least our viewers, of what IPAF does and its mission and its goal.
Sure. So IPAF was formed 30 years ago. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. We're focused on aerial work platforms, cherry pickers, some people call them. And as you said, we're focused on keeping people safe. We're a not-for-profit and we belong to our members.
Well, I'll tell you, it's something everybody in this country is concerned with OSHA and government regulations, regardless of what the platform or where the nation or where the work is being done. But it's an area that absolutely requires total focus, does it not?
It does. And we work very closely with OSHA. Our US members are in regular contact with them. Our US council works with OSHA. We had a senior speaker from OSHA at our last annual convention, which was in Miami. But what OSHA will tell you, and what OSHA like, is that this equipment is the safest way to do short-term work at height. You know, when somebody has to get up there to fix something, think about using a cherry picker.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, as I understand, there is some sort of an effort to obtain accident information, and what are you doing? Are you compiling a database to ferret out the best means possible how to address these issues?
That's correct. 2 years ago, IPAF's members voluntarily launched a fatal accident reporting program. Because although this equipment is really safe, accidents do happen, and as an industry, as a mature industry, we want to understand what causes those fatalities, analyze them, share information, a little bit like the aviation sector does.
Absolutely.
Share information about accidents and learn from them.
Well, let's face it, most equipment does not have the so-called black box attached to it, but is that something that we may see down the road in the future? Is that a potential?
It is. Some of the larger units are already being fitted with something similar to a black box. It's a subject that's under development at the moment.
And then let me ask you, what happens to this information once it's compiled? What happens to it in that database?
So the information we receive is kept confidentially, and we aggregate and summarize the data so that at the end we can publish the number of fatal accidents we've recorded and break them down by geographical region and by kind of equipment and by type of accident.
Let me ask you, what's happening with your CONEXPO exhibit here? I know you're in the gold lot. Tell me a little bit about that.
So what we did was we looked at that accident reporting data to see what was the most common cause of a fatality in the US. And for 2 years running, it was electrocutions. It was people working in baskets, working on booms, who got too close to live line wires. So we have a safety demonstration indicating how far OSHA recommends you should keep from a live electric cable.
Very good. Helpful information, don't you think?
I hope so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, IPAF is at 1817 in the gold lot, and Tim, I want to thank you very much
it's a pleasure,
for taking time to stop by and tell us about your organization and everything it does and much success.
Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you very much.